Good evening, students. I'm extremely sorry. Due to lack of electricity, I was just about to connect and electricity failed, and so I couldn't. Once again, I really apologize for the inconvenience that you have caused. I hope ma'am has been available there for you meanwhile, and you have also watched her video, the way she has, explained the poem by the same poet whose poem we are going to study today, Dust of Snow. He is none but the most famous poet in literature in the form of poetry, Robert Frost. Before we start, as I have already shared with you on WhatsApp that ma'am has taught for class 9, I also expect and request her that she should also, work for you all, the children from class 10, and I'm sure she will definitely come up with the next poem, Fire and Ice, by the same poet, Robert Frost. So, once again, I welcome you all. I would not like to, I would like, but I may not be able to, read here all of your names. But still, those who have recently commented are Parth, Anya, Shravan, Kashish, Om. I'm really sorry, I may not be able to read all of your names. Uh, Ma'am is a social science teacher, but she is a very good teacher for all the subjects and for all the teachers. Her teaching really teaches us how to teach, and that's really fantastic. And so, again, request ma'am to prepare one poem, that is the next one, Fire and Ice, for you all, so that you will also come to know and you will realize the way ma'am teaches. She will just at least introduce you the topic, the poem. Later, I will be there to explain you everything. So here is Anurag also. So without wasting your time, let's come to the point. The poem "Dust of Snow" by Robert Frost. As you were all provided the notes, questions, and their answers, I'm sure you must have written them all in notebook in a very well way. So I would also like few things in a single word. What the poet says or what is the poem about? Please, you may comment in a single word, in one word. I don't want more. Please, I'm waiting for you. This would be just a demonstration. I would also try to explain everything because the poem is very short and we had almost half an hour. I hope you are all free. If you are not, you may please quit this session. You may do your important work that is more important than this, and you may reconnect or you may watch the recorded video. Please, children, I want in a single word, what is the poet saying or what is the poem about? Dust of Snow. What do you understand from the title itself of the poem? I hope you remember one poem that you have just watched by Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken. Ma'am has very well explained that which road we should choose and on what way we should go. I think in the very first meeting, ma'am had interacted with you all in both the classes, 10th A as well as 10th B. And she has very well guided you. She has very well explained you what way you should choose and how you should achieve the great success, the destination in your life. So please, children, comment for this poem, Dust of Snow. I hope you have read it many a times. You must have found your own answers. You have written them. So please comment. I'm still waiting. None of you have commented. Hey children, boys and girls, where are you? Are you there or not? Just yes sir, I don't want. I don't want now your names. I want a single word about the poem Dust of snow. And I would also like to remind you one more poem that was there in class 9, Raindrops on the Roof, or Rain on the Roof. Do you remember? Rain on the Roof. In that poem, we had learned about the memories that the poet had of the rain. And he had also very well explained about the sound of the raindrops falling on the roof of his house that helped him bring back his sweet memories of the past. And we had really loved it. You know, the boy who was there, a poet, had slept on the bed with his pillow and he remembered his memories about his mother and all the beloveds. I hope you remember all. Here, Shreya, very well. You have explained here our way of thinking that you mean dust of snow. Dust and snow, these are the two words. And here, dust is mentioned, that is of snow. I hope you know the differences between snow and ice. Children, snow and ice. Here, Sujal says, it is incident through which the poet's emotions, spelling of emotion, Sujal, I, no, EMOTIONS, changes from sorrow to happiness. Exactly, you are very good and a brilliant student in our class, and we all really enjoy the classroom because of you. Thank you, but here you need to change the spellings, emotions, it should begin with E, and happiness, that Y should be replaced with I. That's really fantastic. And here, oh, sorry, this is not Sujal, but he is Ayush Mutha. Great. Swastik, you are also right. Mood changing and the joy of poet from a bad mood to good mood. Aditya says, act of pretty, experiencing snow on one's body can brighten one's day up. Very good. But I had asked for only one word. So that is happiness, children. We all try our level best by doing this or that, by hook or crook. Everybody wants happiness. We want our mood really very in our favor. We want everything should work according to us and it should be favorable. But it doesn't happen, children. This is life. It is full of ups and downs, but we have to still manage with and cope up with these all the feelings that may be of sorrow or delight. Yes, Jignesh, you are right. This tells us how poet mood is unstable. It's not unstable, but it changes. So there are two things from the nature that the poet has described. What are they? Can you please mention? One is crow, and the other one is which tree? You please mention. What is the name of tree? Nobody? Yes, very good. Achal, you are right. Tejas, Anil, Harsh, you are all. No, Harsh has simply written Harsh, his name. Chajed, Dhukriya, Khartare. I will read here only the surnames because mostly you are using your parents' account, so I will find here their names. Yes, absolutely right. It is hemlock tree. So let me ask you another question, that when you are feeling bored, tired, sad, how do you change your mood? What do you do? Here we may not be able to interact, but I want in briefly, because being a language teacher and without interaction, our communication gap is there. I can understand, but still we will try our level best. Yes. Here I think destructo gaming is Harsh Bothe Patil. He says play video games. Yes, that is only expected because here the name of your account is only Destructo Gaming. Yes, we listen to music. That's really fantastic. Rina, you are right. Even Karnawat also says the same by doing interesting things. Very good. So let's come to the first stanza as well as the firstly we will I will explain here about the poet Robert Frost. He is actually basically an American poet, but his work was initially published in England before it was published in America. Earlier, his literature, all the poems in the beginning of his life, they were all published in America. Sorry, in England, and later they were published in America. But he is natively from America, and so we can say he is an American poet. He is especially known for his realistic depictions of rural life and his command of American colloquial speech, means spoken language. Frost frequently wrote about setting from rural life in New England in the early 20th century, using them to examine complex social and philosophical themes. He has basically written about rural area. If you see the road not taken, that also shows something that is related to rural, that is nature. He was more connected with the nature. He was born on 26 March 1874 and passed away on 29 January 1963. So I think this is more than enough about the poet. Now let's see the poem. First stanza. Dusk of snow. The way a crow shook down on me, the dusk of snow from a hemlock tree. You know, you can just imagine, you would like to imagine when I explain that you are walking in the street and there is a snowfall. And there you find a tree, a tall tree having some branches, and one of the branches there is crow sitting on it. And you are walking snowfall, so lovely, so beautiful atmosphere, isn't it? And all of a sudden, the crow shivers, especially when it is raining. How do the animals or the birds do? And so it made fall down some snow from his body to the poet. And that's why the poet say, the way a crow shook down on me, the dusk of snow from a hemlock tree. And that tree is other than hemlock. That is a hemlock tree. You know its meaning. That is a poisonous tree. If you see, or if you just think of it, two things, crow and hemlock, both of them portray sadness, sorrow in our life. And between these sorrowful things, that is crow and hemlock tree, here the poet finds happiness. And what makes him happy? The shivering of the crow when he just moves, shakes his body, shook his body, and the snowfall on his either shoulder. It is not specifically mentioned here, but it fall on the poet, we can say, and that made him happy. So what do you understand? That's it only, that the crow sitting on the branches of the hemlock tree shook his body, and the snowfall fell down on the body of poet. Is it enough? No, children. Sorrow is denoted by hemlock tree as well as the crow. And they are only the responsible that the poet becomes happy. Just the thing is that movement of crow. It means we can also find happiness even if the situations are against us. You remember the children? One sentence. Even this will pass. Nowadays, Children, we are in the great crisis of coronavirus, COVID 19, that you have been explained many times in our school by our honorable principal ma'am, by other teachers also. But in this crisis also, that we find different ways so that we may connect each other and continue with the education. I'm really thankful and grateful to our honorable principal ma'am that she has guided us time to time so that we could manage these all platforms for you all just to avoid any loss as far as your education is concerned. She has taken all the steps. She left no stone unturned just because of you, children. And after all, it is all out of your love and her love for you all. So, in the first stanza, the basic thing we should understand that even in the sorrow, even in the bad things, even in the circumstances that are against us, we can find our solution. Necessity is the mother of invention. It is well said in English. You know, all remember. And when one door is closed, there is the another that we can find. If there are no ways, no roads for us, we should be sure, and by dint of our own we should create our own ways. Some students I find while I'm teaching in classroom, they also come up with so motivational ideas. That's really fine, that's really fantastic. Tana, you want to say something? It is sin as negative. You mean to say hemlock tree and crow, they are seen as negative? I hope you mean to say like that. And Tanay also tried to get on here of Adit saying Kale PUBG. Okay, that's fine. Please come up with your queries here, putting in a comment live chat comment box. You will find there. You can type your queries also. Japnit says spending time with those whom we rarely interact. Yes, that is also a fantastic way. Jidnesh, what do you mean by free fire? I think Vaishnavi Pakhare says she likes painting, she is fond of it, and she finds much pleasure in that. Okay, that's really fine. All have different ways of their own. Okay, let's move forward if you don't have any doubt. Aditya says it is a game. Yeah, I know, dear. I'm not of different era that I may not know PUBG. So you all understood about the first stanza. I hope you have all understood that the crow and the hemlock tree are the signifiers of sadness and gloom, just like the poet's mood was in the opening scene. Next stanza, I think the poem has only two stanzas. So in the first stanza, we understood about poet's mood, that it was not good at all, and we also found the similar examples of the sadness. The first one is crow, and the second one hemlock tree. So let's say in second stanza, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had ruled. Really, the poet has come up with so lovely and melodious words that we also find much pleasure. Children, these people, the poets are really, we can say, mad for the literature. You know, they come up with such words and such rhyme and such, you know, rhythm, such, you know, in figures of speech, we can say alliteration. You also know rhyming scheme, that we find so much of love in that. But if you are interested, if you like to read them, then only you will find. So in the second stanza, the change of mood has been explained by the poet. Again, I will read. Has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had ruled. And you know, throughout the day he felt very sad. You know, he felt very sad for being lonely. It may be the reason. I would also like to know when you are becoming sad, when you are being sad, children. Yes, Tana, you are saying your doubt is about poet's mood changed by falling of dust of snow. Yes, dear. But you should not understand that only, that just snow falls and his mood change. The poet is not so crook-minded, we can say, but he has a very broad sense here. He says that you can also find good things even in the bad circumstances. You can make this a golden opportunity when you are at home, that you are getting more than enough time to study. Children, let me tell you one scientifically proven thing. You know what's it? When you say now that my mood is off now, I don't want to study, children, you please sit that time to study, and you will find your mood change, and you will be able to concentrate more than when you find your mood is on for your studies. Please do attempt it, and it has been scientifically proved. So children, you should not simply do the things according to your mood, but you do the things and your mood will be according to your favor that you expect. So what would you do? You will do the things according to your mood, or you will change your mood according to the need? Please comment. When there is fight between friends, or we get scolding by our parents, or something bad happens which is not expected, so our mood changes. So when there is fightings between friends, you get very much happiness out of it. Okay, I couldn't understand what you mean. Devika says, when we have a fight with our best friends, or when we lose to achieve our goal. Oh, you mean to say when you become very sad? Right, I got it. Kushal, when the circumstances are not going the way we want. Kushal Dhokriya, I think parent's name. Okay, you please change the circumstances according to your mood. You should not wait for the circumstances that they will change and you will do your work. No, it never happens. Right, Karnavat. Change our mood according to the need. Perfectly. Very good. Try to change the mood. Tanay, when I play PUBG, what do you mean? Can I please respond? What do you mean by when I play PUBG? Means you feel very sad. Then if you feel sad when you are playing PUBG, why do you play? Don't do the things that you find uninteresting, or you find sadness or sorrow in that. Okay, it's okay. Tanai. All right. So here the poet's mood has been changed, as the poet says, just because of fall of snow when the crow shook his body sitting on the branch of tree that has been mentioned here, that is a hemlock tree. So for different reasons here the poet has not mentioned that why his day was a terrible one, sad one, but the falling of the snow on his head or on his body lifted his mood instantly, and he became very happy throughout the day. It may be in the evening or at noon. But he was walking, the crow shook his body, snow fall in his body, and he became, or his mood changed. Generally, hemlock tree and crow are used for negative references, but the poet used them beautifully to portray that inauspicious things can bring joy and happiness too. One must not take things for granted and should be open and accept whichever the way nature chooses to bless us. So that's what we say here also. In this crisis of COVID 19, we have come up with different ideas, we have learned so many things. Even CBSE has come up with different ideas. You must be attending those webinars in the morning. It may not be possible for you nowadays because of our school schedule, but you may watch the recorded one early in the morning by 6 o'clock. I would not say 5 or 4, but in the morning by 7, by 8. You can watch those videos for your mental and physical fitness. So, in both the stanzas, the poet briefly means that we should change our mood according to the circumstances. Or, two things are there. Do try to gain where you find the happiness, or be happy in what circumstances you are. Change the circumstances and be happy, or be happy in the circumstances wherever you are. So this, in this crisis of COVID-19, what would you do? Would you go out to change the circumstances? No, the circumstances wouldn't be changed. Rather, they would be more worst. So you please don't move out. Otherwise, you would say, "Sir has told us to change the circumstances, and we are coming out." No. Can we discuss here rhyming scheme briefly, because I don't want to take much of your time. I think our session should be ended. The time has over. The rhyming scheme of the poem. Who would say? Comment please. Rhyming scheme of the poem. If you don't have the poem with you, I would read the last words only, so that you would come to know the rhyming scheme. Crow, me, snow, tree. What is the rhyming scheme? Please comment, children. And second stanza, heart, mood, and part, rude. So the rhyming words are crow, snow, me, and tree. In second stanza, the rhyming words are heart and part, and mood and rude. So what's the rhyming scheme? A B A B C D C D. Exactly. It is A B A B C D C D. Those who have not understood, let me explain them. Let's say the first word, that is the rhyming word crow, as A. So all those words rhyming with crow would be given as A. So what are they? Snow. Is there any other? No. So let's give A to crow and snow. Done. Then second line from the first stanza, me rhymes with fourth line of the first stanza, tree. Let's give them B. So it becomes AB, AB in the first stanza. And second stanza, first line, last word, that is heart, rhymes with third line of the second stanza, part. So let's give them C, because already we have given A and B. So what is the next letter from the alphabets of English? C. So let's say heart as C and also part as C. Then mood and rude, they rhyme, and they don't rhyme with any other words in the earlier stanza also. So they become D, that is mood, and rude also D. So rhyming scheme becomes A B A B C D C D. That's really fine. Can you say the figure of speech in the poem? What is it? Repetition, alliteration, personification. What is it? Simile, metaphor. I want at least one example. Can you say any of the figures of speech? Yes, you are all right. You have put correct rhyming scheme. A B A B C D C D. Swastik, it is not C B C B, it is C D C D, because A B A B is already given. A B A B, B is given already for mood, no? Sorry, B is already given for me and tree, but they don't rhyme with mood and road, so they should be given as D. Swastik, please correct it, huh? Gauri, you didn't understand rhyming scheme. I explained just now. If you have really understood, please Respond me, putting at the rate DVVPF apostrophe S EMS. So, Gauri, please, Gauri Pargaokar, respond. If you have understood, when I just now I have explained. Otherwise, let me explain you again. Khushi, you are absolutely right. But give example for alliteration. Swastik, you have also mentioned simile, but I don't find simile there. If you find, please give an example. Shreya, you also said alliteration. Exactly, you are right. But please give me an example. Tejas, simile, give example. Ayusha, you have also mentioned simile. Oh, deleted. Gauri Khartare, yes, alliteration. But please put an example there. Achal, it is not only ABAB, it is ABAB, CDCD. If you have understood, please let me know. Gauri Pargaokar, sir, please repeat it. Okay, let me explain you. I will end the session after I am done with the explanation of this rhyming scheme and one example of figures of speech. So Gauri, here if you read the first stanza, those who have not understood, please be attentive. The way a crow, that is the first line of the first stanza. And what rhyming words at least you know, let me know. Gauri, you are a brilliant girl. You must be knowing now. I'm sure. And we have learned these many things. I don't want to underestimate. You are a very brilliant girl. But please let me know if you know rhyming words so that I can continue. I'm sure you must be knowing. But please, I want confirmation. Gauri, I want example from the poem. Otherwise, you are giving some other examples. She sells on the seashore. It is also tongue twister. She sells on the seashore. It's very fantastic and a very good example of alliteration because it begins with the same letter. Not only the same letter, but letter sound of yes. C begins with sure, sells, sure, C, sure, sells, again, sure, and C again and sure. They all brings with, and it brings, one special sound, and that is alliteration. When more than two or some more words, they begin with the same sound, that is alliteration. What is difference between alliteration and repetition then? Alliteration is all about the letters or their sounds, but repetition is all about words. The whole word repeats. For example, oh gentleman, if it is repeated, or there was a poem, if you remember, Captain, Captain, oh Captain. I think in class 6 or 7 it was there somewhere, but Captain, Captain, oh Captain. So Captain word has been repeated, and that is an example of repetition. Tejas, I'm not going to use Zoom. Please let me know if you are not comfortable with this. Then I don't mind. But if you are already comfortable here, then you don't think of Zoom, na? Okay, Gauri knows rhyming words. So Gauri, crow is a word that rhymes with snow. And we should begin with the first rhyming word. And which is the one that you find? The very first, crow. So let's give it as A, the first alphabet from English. Then find all the words rhyming with crow and name them same as A. So what are they in the poem? That is the another one, only one, that is snow. So crow rhymes with snow. So give them as A. Write down, Gauri, you can write. Just next to crow you write A, and just next to snow you write A. Then do you think that the next word, that is the second line from the first stanza, me is a word? Basically rhyming words are at the end of lines in the stanzas. So me is a word that rhymes with the fourth line, last word, tree. Me, tree. I would not like to explain rhyming words because you all well aware about it. Then give the next letter for me. So you please write B just next to me and Also, next to the tree, you write B. So what rhyming scheme become? Read it in a vertical way. What you have written? First line, first stanza, A. Second line, first stanza, B. Third line, first stanza, again A. And fourth line, first stanza, B. So what is the rhyming scheme? A, B, A, B. Exactly. I hope, Gauri, you have understood. Ayush More, I will explain now alliteration. Wait, let me clarify firstly the rhyming scheme. Oh, Gauri, thank God you have understood. I'm sure that you can easily understand. Just the thing you might have forgotten. Otherwise, you are very well in it. Oh, great. It's my duty, dear. I really love to answer your queries. Then alliteration. I explain briefly, but again I will explain for you alliteration. So let's firstly find one example from the poem. It is has given my heart. Children, you see second stanza, first line. Has given my heart. So has H sound. Given my heart. Do you find it creates some sound? Does it create some rhythm, some rhyme? Yes. So it is alliteration, and it is the beginning sound of both the words. Has heart, don't they? Yes, they exactly. So that is alliteration. Alliteration and rhyming words, they are opposite to each other. Alliteration has beginning similar sounds, and rhyming words have their ending similar sounds. I hope you have understood. So is it one example of alliteration? Has given my heart, has had. Both the sounds, beginning sounds, ha. So it is an example of alliteration. Another example for alliteration, and saved some part. Do you find? And saved some part. That is a third line from the second stanza. Saved some. Saved begins with sa sound, and some also begins with sa sound. So we can say and saved some part is an example of alliteration. Ayush, if you have understood, please let me know. Not only Ayush More, but also other children can please simply put in a comment box if you have understood alliteration. You may raise your hand also. You can use this emojis. You please put a letter yes only, simply like this. You can write simply one letter also, so that I can understand. As I have mentioned, yes. Ayush had asked a question. Is it so? Ayush Mutha, it is comparing falling snowflakes from hemlock tree to dust. Falling snowflakes, same. Let me explain you again simile and metaphor. What is simile? Simile is also a comparison, and metaphor is also a comparison. But simile, when we compare one thing with the other using the words as or like, that is simile. I can say I fought, or the warrior fought like a lion in a battle. So here warrior has been compared with a lion using the word like. So that is an example of simile. But metaphor, we can say he owes a lion in the battle. We are not comparing, we are actually comparing, but here we don't use the word like, such, or as, or like. So it is metaphor. So got the differences between simile and metaphor also? Yes. Are you all enjoying or getting bored? I hope you all enjoy. Do you need to discuss question and their answers? Already we have explained. Inversion is there. Can you find an example for inversion? What is inversion? Inversion is just changing the places of words. We generally say Pune is the nearest city from Ahmednagar, but we can say the nearest city is Pune from Ahmednagar. So we change the places of words. So that is inversion. Do you find such an example here in this poem? You please find it. I think question and answers. I will also conduct online test for you. We have already discussed, not discussed, but you have already written. We may continue with the question and their answers tomorrow. You please be all ready with your questions and their answers. I may ask you. Let me summarize the poem, and that will be the end. This is a short poem by Robert Frost that throws light upon the unimaginable healing power of nature and tiny things. Yeah, it is an example of nature because there is snow. Otherwise, in our general life also we find number of such examples. From a bad mood to ill health, there is nothing that can't be cured by nature. Everything can be cured. Even this coronavirus, COVID-19 will also be cured very soon. Let's hope so, because wherever there is a problem, there is a solution. The author was experiencing one such bad day when a crow's movement near a hemlock tree dusted snow upon him. The snow instantly makes him happier. His day gets a lot better. Thus, the supremacy of nature as a whole made him realize how petty his problem was. Means when it is said now, don't tell God how big the problem is, but tell the problem how great your God is. So that's what our God is nature himself or itself. We can say in English, nature is called as sea, means as a female gender, even the earth and the moon also. Natural things are called in a feminine gender. You all know about it. The author was experiencing very bad day, and you know how crow's movement near a hemlock tree changed his mood, and he became very happy. His day gets a lot better. Thus, the supremacy of nature is a whole made him realize how petty his problem was. The fact the hemlock tree is poisonous combined with crow being the indicator of doom and fear are used in the poem as the carriers of happiness in the life of narrator is ironical. Yes, because two things we find coming together. You know what is irony? When two contrasting ideas come together, actual meaning is exactly different from the real meaning. That is irony. You know very well the examples that we find in our class. The poet through these objects has tried to highlight that sometimes creatures linked with negative aspects of life, what are they here? Hemlock tree and crow can be the bringer of change and happiness. Means we find somebody boring, he is so boring, he bores you if say, but they cannot be boring all the time, but they can also cause to bring the happiness in your life. So being outdoors in nature with all its unpredictability can benefit anyone, anywhere, at any time. So again, I would like to remind you here the first lesson from class lesson, three questions, if you remember. The best time. What is that? Please comment. Which is the best time that you do the things? It's being lengthy, I know, but please comment, children, which we will end with this. I think this is the third time that I have said we are going to end. But children, I am really, overwhelmed with your love that you are showing, not only for the teachers, but also for our school, even for everybody. The bond that we have, bond of love. You remember from class 9? Exactly. So the present time, that is now, is the most important. That is the best one. Who is the best person in your life? Don't name, just you say. What is the answer of this? Who is the best person? The person with whom you are at present. He or she is the best person. Rina, you are always best. I don't mind. But still, the person with whom you are, you should not say, when he will be there or she will be there, then I will find the solution for this. No. You can get help from anyone or the one who is there with you. You should not wait for others. So that is the best person, or he or she is the best person. Then third question, what was the third question? The best work. What is the best work that we should do? The work, please mention. Yes, you are all saying correct. Family, yes, family is really the best group of persons in your life. Exactly, parents are there after all. Because of them, we are here, and every person so positive we are. Swastik, you are right person with us. Anil, what we are doing now exactly. Even Gauri, you have also mentioned the work that we should do or that work that we are doing now is the best work. You should not say this is the time for study and you are not studying because you find some other work best or better than that. No, the best work is what you think or what you are supposed to do at present. That is the best work. For example, if this is the time that I'm supposed to teach you, that is the best work for me. Better than any other work, more important than any other work, the work that I'm supposed to do at this moment. So the best time that is now, the best person, the person whom with we are, and the best work that we are supposed to do at this moment. Thank you, students. I hope you have all understood at least some part of this poem, some lesson from this poem that we can follow in our day-to-day practical life. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. See you soon tomorrow at sharp 4:45. Be tuned, stay tuned, stay home, stay safe. And don't forget to subscribe this channel because you will be notified whenever we are live, any other teachers. And also, do give me some feedbacks about the platforms that your friends or you are using for connecting others so that our teaching, our learning can be more convenient, more comfortable for each and everyone in our family of Dr. Vittal Ravike Patil Foundation's English Medium School. So this video would be recorded and will be there on YouTube. You can watch it if you have not understood any part, alliteration, inversion, I told, also rhyming scheme and all. Thank you everyone. Thank you so much. I'm just typing here a comment for you all. Thank you. And that would be the end. You may go on commenting after the video is also ended streaming. Take care, stay home, stay safe. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye.